June the 15th, Old Nene in Cambridgeshire. Gonna be at it again at midnight. So yeah, countdown till the first day of the river season. I have to excuse that, that's sausages cooking there. That's all the steam. Yeah, hopefully going to be catching some tench tonight, fingers crossed. Fished here the first night last year. Ground baited quite heavily and caught a lot of bream. So this year I've not put any ground bait in at all. Probably thrown in around about a pint and a half of hemp, bit chop worm, and then I've been loose feeding some casters and some maggots. I managed to get down in with plenty of time to spare, and as soon as I got my gear out of the car and onto the bank, the heavens opened and I had to run back to the car and sit in there for a good, must have been 45 minutes. And then I managed to get back here and carve out a swim and rake it, because it's totally overgrown here, there's no swims. And then eventually managed to get my gear set up. It's only recently stopped raining. It's been raining for probably 4 hours. Luckily I've bought a new sleeping bag, which is a proper bad boy one. So hopefully I'm not going to get cold. It's a Tracker 365, and apparently it's the dogs, so that'll be good. I'm fed up of freezing my nuts off, to be quite frank. Also got myself a new bed as well. My other one's getting a bit uncomfortable. I'm gonna be fishing 2 rods, inline lead on one, helicopter rig with the lead on the other. Just it's a bit of weed, and I just want to try 2 different things really, see which one works the best. Seen a few big fish rolling, seen lots and lots of small fish, so fingers definitely crossed. Yeah, this is a drain. It's the old course of the River Nene, but it's been basically dug into a land drain. It doesn't flow really at all. It's quite clear, it's very weedy, lots of lilies, lots of reeds, all sorts of fish species in here. I guess the main ones are roach, rudd, perch, tench, bream, pike. Also got eels, there's also some carp. Right, the light is fading. I'll give you a quick look around and then switch the camera off. There's some sausages, and I might have a little kip, I don't know. I want to get inside my sleeping bag really and warm up and dry these jeans off. I've just managed to get them a bit dry and then had to walk through the field again and got soaked again. Right, let's have a look around. Yeah, this is the venue. It's called Black Mill. There's the Black Mill, hence the name. Don't know if this will focus, it's a bit dark. Here's my swim. Basically, it was like that. And I've brought various tools down and cut it all out and given it a decent rake. Not, I don't know, 10 metres out or so. I've raked back into the edge here. It just carries on down there. Ends up in a town called Ramsey, which is where I went to school when I was young. I'll give you a little panorama. It's bloody flat in this part of the world. As you can see, there ain't much going on. but I quite like it. I'm pretty sure you can't see anything, but it's midnight, we're off. That's past midnight now. Got my rods out, got the kettle on, so wish me luck. Actually, we already had a line bite. Anyway, I wish you all the best this season. Tight lines, and I will see you if I catch anything. If not, I'll see you in the morning when I'll be crying. That's what I'm talking about. First cast. Bosh! Oh, there we go. Lovely tench. Ooh. Male. It's a good one. It's probably about £4, I would say. Love it when a plan comes together. Morning, folks. I had plenty of knocks and liners in the night, but didn't catch any more. But there's plenty of bubbles and activity. I actually saw a bloody great roach a minute ago, about £1. Just down the edge there. There's actually a lot of weed on the bottom, and it's quite difficult, I think, to present the bait. I thought I raked out a lot more than I had, I think. I'll need to persevere for a good few hours. Probably go back to sleep, actually. I'm confident we'll catch another. And after that I'll be tootling off to Frencham Great Pond. What I'm going to do is just recast my rod slightly closer in. The fish seem to be right along the edge of the sort of edge of the weedy bit. I'm getting liners. My bait's a bit beyond the bubbles. You can see those bubbles there. My bait's a little further out, so I'll be sort of fishing in the weed, I think. But anyway, we'll have a go. Oh, I can't believe this is only tench number 2. That's a beautiful fish, though. Oops. Absolute stunner. Whee! It's probably £3.5, I'd say, maybe 4. Pristine female Fenland tench. Alright, I'll get a quick snap on the phone. It's a big girl, this one. Might even be worth a weigh, I think. What's that? Absolute beaut. Look at that. What a gorgeous fish. I'm going to bung her on the scales, I think. It'd be rude not to. £5, 14. Bosh. £5, 14 ounce tench out of the fen. That is a very satisfying fish. Right, It's about 11 o'clock now, and unfortunately I think I'm going to have to wrap this up. To be honest, had I not got bait ordered at the shop back where I live, I think I would do another night here. I've still got loads of... I mean, the fish have been fizzing out there constantly this morning. Big patch there now. They've been grabbing around so hard they've actually been uprooting all the weed. It keeps floating up to the top. But I kind of have bait ordered, and I haven't got much food to sustain me if I stay here. I mean, I probably wouldn't die, but I don't know what to do. I mean, I could ring the shop up and postpone my bait, I guess. I'm quite sort of happy and settled here. I don't know. I've got loads of bubbles coming up. I'm tempted to pull my rods in, rake the swim again. It's fucking weedy. Pardon my French. And stay here. I've decided to stay another night, so I'm re-raking my swim. And I just saw this bar now. Can't zoom any closer to it, unfortunately, but oh, he's just gone down to get something. Probably a horse. Hello. Well, it's been raining for ages. I decided to stay for another night, obviously. So, I don't know what time it was this morning. 11:30. I decided to rake the swim again. And that there were lots of fish present in the swim, bubbling away. But the weed was really problematic for presentation. So I raked it again and baited it. And it's now, must be 5:30ish. It's been quiet up until now, although right on cue a whole patch of bubbles have just come up, so I'd say they're back. But yeah, I don't know whether that was a wise thing to do or not. Probably should have left it later. A little touch on my right hand rod then. Something I've noticed, I have had an awful lot of line bites fishing here. I'm pretty sure there's some tench in the swim. It's sort of, I suspect they're kind of drifting about in there at the moment. I'm getting the odd little rise of the bobbin or just little knocks on the rod tip. And then occasionally you get patches of bubbles. It's not like this morning. This morning they were really rooting about, and they're actually they were uprooting the weed on the bottom. And it was all floating up to the top. I must say, I did rake it thoroughly earlier. I haven't got it all out, but it's a lot better. Before I'd done that, every single cast I was pulling in weed, and my hook bait was masked, and now it's relatively clear. So I'm just hoping that it's a little bit easier for the fish to find my bait. It's a bit quiet on the tench front, so Have a quick go on the waggler. There's tons of rudd down there. Trouble is the rudd keep eating all my loose feed, so I'll sit here and I'll catch 20 or so of them and they'll bugger off. There we go. Lovely fish. It's got a louse on it. I wonder if that's why they're flashing down there, trying to rub them off. I haven't got a heck of a lot of bait left, so I don't want to be throwing out my loose feed and having the rudd eat it all. I want it to get down to the bottom for the tench. Absolutely heaving with them. Chatting to a guy earlier, he reckons he's seen some proper big ones down there, sort of 2.5, 3 pound. Not exactly ultralight. Well, I've got an ultralight rod, I've got a 6 pound line. Might have to make a makeshift disgorger for this one. It's fun to sit here and do this all day, but they have a habit of making themselves scarce after you've caught a few of them. Ooh, that was a tench. Just going to knock on the right hand rod there as well. I put a feeder on it. There were fish milling about, but they didn't seem to be homing in on the bait. I thought a feeder introducing a bit of bait right next to the hook. And there's obviously one nosing at the feeder right now. More tips bouncing around. However, I thought I'd rake it and bait it and they'd be back within an hour. That must have really pissed them off. I lost 2 fish earlier. One was on a barbless hook and the other was on a fairly small size 10 hook. Very fine wire one. So I've actually got pretty chunky hooks on now. They're size 10 carp hooks. I wouldn't normally use them, but I'm thinking in the night time it's not such a big bother, I don't think. And I do want to get them out if I hook them. And the thing with fishing close range like this, even though my rods are fairly light, there's not a lot of line out to cushion any runs, so you are relying completely on the hook holding and drag of the reel. Whereas if you're fishing long range, the line almost acts like an elastic, pole elastic. There's a lot more hit and hold. Less than halfway across the drain there's lily pads, feed everywhere, there's reeds on the inside. it's been like this. It's like this all through the night. Every half an hour it's getting beep beep beep. It didn't develop. I mean the angle of the line isn't helping. So close in that using a back leg wouldn't do any good really. There's another tench there. Might catch a few tonight. Put a fair amount of bait out today. I'm guessing a fair bit is still there. I even put in a bit of ground bait, seems I've seen no sign of any bream. I must have put in, since I've been here, 5 pints of hemp. A pint of casters, a pint of maggots and a tin of corn and a quarter of a kilo of worms. I don't know, I always prefer to fish a feeder. I always think you need a bit of attraction near your hook bait to make the fish home in on it, you know. Just having a hook bait on a lead with a load of freebies around, it doesn't give the fish anything to home in on. I'll always want to fish a feeder rather than the lead, unless I'm, you know, using PVA bags or something, which is actually something I could have done, just didn't think of. Bloody bugger. Well, that was a long old wait. I just had a bite at last. Rewarded with this nice tench with a funny tail. Probably 4.5, 5 pounder. Quite a dark fish. Right, I'm going to plop her back in. Get my rods out again. Oops, easy. I brought my rods in during the night. I just wanted a bit of sleep. Well, I could hear the fish, lots of big fish sploshing around. It was quite cold and I was like, bollocks. So I went to sleep. I'm going to give it another couple of hours and then I'm going to be going home, going to the fishing shop, having a shower and kind of getting my act together to go to Frensham Great Pond tonight. Hopefully get a good swim and hopefully the fish will be feeding there, because as you may well know, it is a cracking tench venue. So I'll have a night there and then evaluate what I'm doing. But I might go and fish the River Ouse around Bedford for river tench on Saturday night. And then on Sunday I'm going to meet up with a couple of mates and we're going to fish the River Medway. Or possibly another venue. My mate Scotty's looking into that. But yeah, blimey. That's nearly a 20-odd hour wait for that fish. Crikey. Right, we can get back out there.